Please take over the session and enlightening us upon the different resource planning in the Moodle. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, sir. Very good evening to all dear participants. I hope your journey of Moodle installation and creating a basic course and category has been successful till now. Further advancing in today's session, I'll be covering up the heart and core of Moodle LMS, that is resource planning. So activities and resources are the main crux of a Moodle LMS system. So in this session, I'll be detailing what are the different kind of resources that you can add to your courses in Moodle and how those resources can be interpreted in many ways. So beginning, as I said, a resource is basically any material that you upload on your Moodle website in a Moodle course for a student to study beyond the classroom. So these kind of resources fall under the category of asynchronous learning mechanism in blended learning, which I discussed yesterday. So after your one-on-one interaction, live classes, there are materials which we need to disseminate to the student for the purpose of knowledge sharing as well as to the likes of extending the topic beyond the classroom. So resources in Moodle provide that kind of a help to a teacher wherein a teacher can upload support material in the form of slides, presentations, pre-recorded videos, videos from any external sources, assignments. All these kind of resources can be uploaded in Moodle courses. Now, as I mentioned, there are a wide range of resources which are supported. We will be visiting a brief of every resource in theory, and then after that, I'll be moving to my practical Moodle site where I'll be teaching you how to add every different kind of resource in Moodle. So, prior to adding resources, what is a mandate is that you should be having a Moodle installation either on-premise or a cloud-based installation, and you should be logging in by your credentials. Now, resources can be added in a Moodle either by course creators, teachers, administrators, or managers. So, in order to add a resource, another prerequisite that lies is that your course should be created. So, if I'm adding a resource in, say, an MCA program's semester 1 Java course, then my Java course should already be existing in the Moodle website before I add any resource to it. Now, how your course exists on the Moodle site is up to you. It can exist as a standalone program, or it can also exist as a course within some categories or subcategory hierarchy. So, resources are only added to pre existing courses. Then, the mechanism of adding a resource is very simple. We'll be visiting this as well. The moment we open the course in an editing mode, the moment we open the course with editing settings on, there is an option that comes beneath every subtopic in the course to add an activity or a resource. So the moment you click on that option, a pop-up will appear which will display different kind of resources that are available in the system and you can probably create on your Moodle site. So this is the procedure which we'll be following in practical as well. Once you create a resource, it'll also give you an option to either preview the resource first and then save your changes to the course, or probably directly save your changes and move back to your site. It is in the hands of the system administrator to decide whether or not teachers are to be editing or non-editing teachers allocated to one particular course. There are very few parameters which are important or which are mandatory while adding a resource. Many parameters are optional, one of which being the course description. So we'll be visiting all this in the practical scenario as well. Now there are certain types of resources available with Moodle. Amongst these resources, the most utilized or the most usable kinds would be of a file and a book. So Moodle allows you to create a multi-page book which is custom like from the teacher's perspective. So if I have a lot of resource material unit wise, like in a general course curriculum, we have different units and every unit has certain material, study material, be it extensive studies, be it prerequisites, be it scanned PDF of notes or anything like that. So if we have these kind of materials with us, then teachers can establish or load this material under the category of a book that is created by a teacher.
Hmm?
Also, over and apart
Okay.
from creating your custom books,
No.
there is also a facility where teachers can export pre-existing books as IMS content. Now,
बाहर नहीं
IMS, yes, sir,
ना
please
ना गेट
mute
बाहर
yourself.
मोठे नाही ना एक गेट तळक नाही
Manish, sir, can you please help me? Thank you. Okay. So IMS is basically a body which helps define technical standards for various things or materials that you upload on an e-learning mechanism like an LMS. So IMS helps you even load certain kind of books. These books are pre-written in a format and the format is to be accepted by IMS. So whatever the content specific packaging specific information is there, that can be uploaded in the IMS content package, and a corresponding format book can be uploaded in the book section or a book resource. This kind of a scenario is generally a lesser used use case in Moodle. The more probable scenario is that we have our pre-existing resources, we have our pre-existing custom notes, or any other study material which has been compiled by the teacher specifically, and that material or resource is needed to be uploaded on the Moodle site. In case of already existing material like certain ebooks or scanned copies of books, generally go into the mechanism of providing a link of the ebook that is available online. So this is for the book section. Now, when you create a book, as I said, you can create a custom content. So everything is customizable. Your number of chapters, how the chapters appear, their sequencing, their appearances, their linking, chapters having different sub chapters beneath them, and those subchapters containing either plain text or files or simple word pages, even images and URL links. So a lot of features and options are available in this type of a resource that we'll be visiting practically. Next type of a resource is a file. This is a scenario where I want to upload probably a picture, or say I want to upload a mind map of my syllabus design or curriculum design as to how the course is to proceed, or I want to upload PDF documents, I want to upload the university prescribed syllabus, or I want to upload certain lab assignments which I have per lab session wise compiled. So all these kinds of resources that if I want to include in one course can be done using the file resource. Then as we see, resources will be a lot many and they might not be completely interrelated or should be putting into in the same scenario. So in order to better organize resources in Moodle courses, there is also an option of creating folders. The main purpose of folders is to segregate different type of resources. Say if I'm creating resources for my Java programming course, then under unit 1 I'll upload all resources of unit 1 relevance. So unit 1 is actually a folder. It's a package or a container that is holding related resources of the same type. So just in order to uh, distinguish the relatability and type of resources under various sections, we can organize them using folders in Moodle. Now, IMS content package, this feature here in Moodle helps you upload any specification, IMS packaging specification that we need to upload for uploading any pre-existing media in any type of resources. So this is a widely used phenomena. IMS format was used by SCORM to define the packaging format, and typically every shareable content object is defined inside a content package. This kind of a resource is, as I mentioned, is a lesser use scenario or a lesser relevant use case in our teaching learning mechanism, but this is also present as a feature in Moodle. The next kind of a resource is a label. So if you want to just probably display a message within a resource or within some few words, you want to separate out what is the meaning or what are the instructions to submitting in or turning in an assignment as a resource, you can do that using labels. This is also applicable when you want to create headers to certain specific type of resources. So now imagine the scenario: I have a Java programming course, and within the Java programming course, I have different packages. Like I have different unit wise folders. For 4 units, I have 4 folders. Within every unit, I'll be uploading the relevant unit content. But if I want to explicitly mention as a header or a title above the resource, then what does the resource mean? What is the relevance? Okay, this resource is a video for the first topic of my Java programming, that is the basics of object-oriented programming. Then the next book that I have uploaded is a summary of chapters 1 to 6 relating to unit 1 in the course. So such kind of labels wherein I want to provide headers or segregate my information relating to resources uploaded in a Moodle course can also be provided in the form of labels. The next type of resource available with Moodle is a page. So a page is a simple text content that a teacher updates or uploads, but it opens up as a web page within an HTML editor within the Moodle site. So the main distinction between a page and a URL is that if you just post a URL as a resource, then you can simply provide a link to any placeable resource on the web browser which the student can access as in a resource or a video from YouTube or say Wikipedia. But when you create a page, you can provide different types of content within the page. I can also be embedding a video inside a page, but then I can also be giving a summary or a short description of what the video meant and how was it relevant for the student's understanding. So pages help you extend the concept of other resources with certain custom understanding from the teacher or the course creator. So these are the main type of resources and they are very easy to create. So further moving ahead, I would suggest that all of you please log in into your Moodle sites. I log in into mine, and as and when I create a resource, please do that with me, so that we have a hang of things and you get to know how things are done. Towards the end of which, we'll also be doing a practical implementation from your side. So please log in into your Moodle sites, set up your XAMPP servers, start up all components if you have. Else, if you're not able to do an on-premise installation, I request you to please access the URL, the cloud-hosted URL shared by OpenSub.
Hello, hello, ma'am. Tanya, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me the procedure of login, because in the morning session also I am not able to log in, but I have installed Moodle.
Okay. So you have a XAMPP installation on-premise, ma'am?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Can you show the procedure? Can you screen share?
Yes,
Then
yes.
I will do.
Yeah, let's start from there. I'll do that.
I also have a similar sort of a problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Like I have this online cloud-based ID which is provided. So if you can again show us, it's going to be of help.
Right.
How
So
do we log it?
yeah. So I'll walk you through both kind of implementations. First, I will share the URL of the cloud hosting, and I'll tell you how you can log in into the cloud hosting. And all those who have a on-premise installation, I'll set up a XAMPP server. I'll start my XAMPP server, and I'll show you how do I do it on my system. I'll do both processes. Those who are accessing the cloud version that was shared by OpenSub, because you could not go in about your on-premise installation, here is the URL. Please click on this URL. It will open in a browser. The moment you click on this URL, it will lead you to this kind of a page. So this is a cloud hosted LMS. The link I have shared in the chat window, ma'am. You can access from there. I'll repaste it for your convenience. So once you hit this cloud-based URL, if you have to log in, there is this hyperlink available on the top right of my screen which says login. You can click here and you can simply write your username and password. This is for the cloud version that I'm telling. After this, I will show for the on-premise version. And if you have logged in, I appreciate that. For an on-premise installation, when I go about turning on or starting my XAMPP server, I firstly open the command prompt. You can press Ctrl plus R, right? Or you can simply start the run menu from the Windows option. And after Ctrl plus R, type in this path. This will initiate the XAMPP exe, and a window of this kind will appear. I'll just share. This is my XAMPP server that opens up. Within this server, you have to start 3 services. First is the Apache, next is MySQL, and third is Tomcat. And you can see the status of each running in the control panel available down below. So the moment you start Apache, it will say, okay, Apache installation was installation directory was accessed, prerequisite found, and service started. It will, if it is a successful start, this module here will be highlighted in green. So start Apache, start MySQL, and then start Tomcat also, ma'am, the last one. This last service here, Tomcat, it will take a little time to start up, and the moment it starts, the moment it turns green, you will have another command prompt, or you can say that's actually the Catalina.bat file of Tomcat, which will start. So you'll have another command prompt which will open up automatically. If these 3 have started correctly, you would be getting these 3 icons in green. If there is any problem, so there will be an error message. If it's a warning, it will be highlighted in yellow. If it's an error, it will be highlighted in red, and it will give you a message in the console window that I was unable to start. So
Yes, I think it's showing the error. I couldn't start a Tomcat.
right.
Here to Apache and my SQL is okay, but Tomcat is not turning into green. It is
Yes.
showing some error.
Yeah.
Same here, Tanya ma'am.
Yeah, for that, ma'am, I will suggest, first of all, I would like to ask for starting Tomcat, do you have a JDK installed, Java Development Kit? Because that is the thing it's mentioning in your error also. Make sure you have proper Java JDK or JRE installed, and required ports are free. So Tomcat or probably any Java based server will only be initialized, will only start once you have your JDK installed. It's a Java development kit. So it's actually a development and runtime environment for all Java based components. So do you have a JDK in your system, ma'am?
No, it's not there. I
Right.
instead install.
JDK ma'am.
I will just share the path, ma'am, so that you can download the JDK.
So, ma'am, while we have to install that, we have to come out of this XAMPP control panel.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So kindly share the link.
Right. So I have mentioned in the chat box a link of Oracle's site from where you can download a JDK version. right? Now you have to look for your system configurations on this page. What type of an operating system you are using, what is the bit format. So according to that corresponding, there is a exe file. But this page, once you click on the download of exe file, it will ask you to register to Oracle. So you can carry out this process of registration, and then it will allow you to download the JDK. If this is taking a little bit of time, I will suggest that please work on the cloud hosted version, which Uttam sir has shared in the morning, and then you can later on go and download JDK and then try and start Tomcat. Then it will work.
Okay.
So both options are available with you.
Okay, ma'am. So we will work on the cloud app. Is it right now?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
And the link was sent on WhatsApp.
Chat, ma'am, I shared on
So
the
the
chat.
one that you just sent right now in a few minutes back.
Yes, I will just repaste it. Here, ma'am.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. JDK supports 32-bit version. So if you're using 32-bit, you have to look for a cross x86. So if it's Window 32, Window cross 86. If it's a 64-bit, Window cross 64. So probably after the session, you can download JDK, register with the Oracle site, download JDK, and then try and run your XAMPP server with these three components. Now Tomcat will run. So this is the kind of benefit we have with the cloud hosting, that the link that we have mentioned here is a cloud-based hosting. Although we have installed this solution on cloud, but in many other cases, like I mentioned earlier yesterday, like we have some cloud providers for Moodle, Genomio, Bitnami, Moodle Cloud. So what would they do is they perform all this installation process for you, and they just give you a simple site link where you can go and create your Moodle site. So that is the kind of difference, but yes, it comes with certain cost added to certain features. So okay, for now, if you have downloaded your complete software suite and you are able to start your XAMPP server, the next thing that I do after starting my XAMPP server is go to any browser. You have to type the URL. Type the URL of your Moodle site that you created while installation. So this is my URL, 127.0.01, which means my local host, and Moodle site. This I created while installation. So you have to install.
How, how to check that what will be our URL?
This you would have created while installation. You have to actually, remember it at that time. It will be present in some configurations also. What was the URL that you created at installation?
Actually, yesterday only I have created,
Yeah.
but I forgot to note it down, ma'am. It's on an on-premise. Only I have.
Okay.
So I just go by that local host Moodle.
Yeah, just go by that, sir.
Okay, okay.
Localhost Moodle, the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
This 127.0.0.1 is my local host only. This is my private IP.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, this will work. Localhost/Moodle/my. This will work.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
ma'am. In case of the Google Cloud, the
Yes, sir.
IP address of the website you have provided, है ना? All of us are working on the same site. There
Yes,
is
sir.
so much hodgepodge. If you can assign me or individual person to each different IP address, each everyone can develop their own site.
Okay,
You can
sir.
also monitor easily.
Okay, so
And
the
as the in case of example of hosting for the Moodle cloud.org.
right. Got it. So, sir, the thing is, I'll first explain the scenario and then I'll let you know what we can do for it. The thing is that this installation which I have done here on my local host, like many other participants have done on their system, the same kind of installation we have done, but we have hosted our site on the cloud. So it's like the URL that you're getting is one of our installations. So if we replicate the URL to many different formats, it ideally means we are installing many different Moodle sites on the server. So I will have to look around for probably a solution we can. I'll speak to Uttam sir what we can do with roles and privileges, but that will not be feasible. That we can give separate URL because that means installing that many Moodle sites on our server. So that will be a little tricky, but I'll still try and work around a solution. So one idea that I can give to you so that things are a little convenient in this session is that you all know how to create courses and categories, right? So rather than working on the same course name, create a course name by your name. So if I am Tanya Garg and I'm working on that site, rather than creating a computer science engineering course, create a Tanya Garg course. So this way, at least your content will be, it'll be exclusive to you. Any other participant will access a common course or a course by his or her name. This is a workaround that we can do for the time being. Rest I'll have to discuss with my team what can be done in the best interest.
Ma'am, each are have the same privilege for the manager.
Yes, sir.
Anyone can delete the other work also.
Yes,
It would be
sir.
the problem in the future.
Right. But sir, you need these kind of privileges for practically demonstrating everything that we are doing. So like tomorrow I'll be teaching you.
Can,
Yeah,
ma'am,
sir.
or you can allow us to register our site on the Moodle cloud, moodlecloud.org, the actual Moodle cloud.
Okay. I'll look into that.
Then we have to develop its own website. We will give you the ID and password to mount up.
Right. I look into that, sir, but I'll just give you one reason here. You need a manager or a site administrator kind of a privilege because when tomorrow I'll be demonstrating user roles and I'll be creating users that cannot be done with a teacher privilege or any lesser role. So yeah, I'll discuss with my team, but for now this is the best that we can offer. But we'll definitely look into it. Don't worry.
Ma'am, just one thing, please.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
just took some time to start my Moodle account. Now my Apache and MySQL is green, and Tomcat is. Do we have to put start button there?
Yes, ma'am. You have
Actually,
to start.
but I can see there's six lines in the red color. Then 6 errors. That means.
Okay. So then we have to provide a fix for each of them.
It's it. And
Yeah.
what was that link given for?
That was a cloud hosted link. So like if you're having problems
Okay.
setting up your this kind of on-premise account, you can use the cloud service.
So what do I do with this thing then? Tomcat.
We will resolve errors, ma'am. We'll do that
Oh,
after the session.
okay,
But for
ma'am. No
now,
problem.
for practice purpose, you can do it on the cloud.
Okay, so do I have to go on the cloud then?
Yes, the link that Uttam sir also mentioned.
And then for username password?
Username, password, you can post in the group. So we'll resolve there.
Okay, no. For the to be on the cloud,
Yeah.
I'll require username password, right?
Yes. So that you can post on the group. Uttam sir is also there. So meanwhile, we
Okay,
take
fine.
this session. He will work on it on the group.
Yeah, yes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So once you hit your pre-installed URL, you can log in. I have already logged in as an admin user. If you would not have been logged in, you would get a login link here, right? So please click on that link and log in using your credentials. Since you have most of you have set up an on-premise Moodle, so you should be able to log in using your admin password. Please do that. In order to create a resource, I said we need to have a category and a course in place. So this will be your dashboard. Like I mentioned yesterday, this is the landing page for any user, be it administrator, teacher, student, anybody. This is the landing page. Now, if I want to create a resource, I have to first access a pre-installed course. Click on Site Home in the left panel. This will show the list of all available courses. So your framework and your course structure can vary from mine. So my hierarchy here is that I have created one category BTech program, like Uttam sir has also discussed in the morning. And within the BTech program, I have created some subcategories. One is computer science engineering, then another is ECE, then IT. And under those subcategories, I have some courses here. So like I have a Java programming course under computer science engineering. So if you see higher up in this course, in the hierarchy, there are two categories. One subcategory, computer science engineering. Another main category will be your BTech program. So click on the Java programming. You can be having any course. You can be having a mathematics course, or you can be having any course which you've created in this morning. So this is my course layout. In order to add certain resources, here if you see this gear icon, this is the settings, and you have to click on turn editing on.
Hello, Tanya ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry to disturb you. Can you please repeat these few steps?
Sure, ma'am. Sure. I'll take you from the beginning. So this will be.
Ma'am, also do let us know something like we come from communication backgrounds. If I've got to create something on communication, if you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
guide us that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
वन
ma'am.
थिंग मैम, ये जावा की वेबसाइट से क्या डाउनलोड करना है? साइट खुल गई है वो।
JDK डाउनलोड करना है सर। अगर आपके टॉमकैट में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, अगर आपका XAMPP टॉमकैट सर्विस चला पा रहा है तो कुछ नहीं करना।
जेडीके में तो यहाँ पर कौन सा फाइल ही नहीं दिख रही है, काफी सारी आ रही है यहाँ पर।
सर आपको सिस्टम स्पेसिफिकेशन के हिसाब से डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा। इफ इट इज अ विंडोज सिस्टम, इफ इट्स अ लिनक्स बेस्ड ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, एंड व्हाट इज द बिट साइज, लाइक 84 बिट सिस्टम, क्या फाइल फॉर्मेट, उसके हिसाब से एक फाइल डाउनलोड करनी। सो ये आपका डैशबोर्ड होगा। फ्रॉम द डैशबोर्ड you see this site home option available here. Click on site home. This will lead you to a listing of courses with you. So I have a course Java programming. I'll click on my Java programming course. This kind of a layout will open, some topics, some announcement, right? Now this is the display section. This is how the course looks like. But I don't want to see the display section. I have to first add material to the course. I have to customize the course, adding resources to the course. So what do I do?
Ma'am, I want a course to have something being planned out on communication. So how do I go about it?
Ma'am, the same procedure. Until and unless I don't reach up till resources, I cannot tell you what type of resources you can add. You can change the course name, but the resources type will be different for your communications course. Like this is a course that I have created just for demonstration because I teach this course. You can be teaching any course, so you can create that course. And in that course, we'll add resources according to your use case. Click on the gear setting, turn editing on. Right? Now, the moment I say turn editing on, you can see there is a section of add an activity or a resource which comes under different topics. So these topics are like your subunits to a course. Like I was talking, my course is structured into 4 units. So I can probably edit each of the topic corresponding to 1 unit. First of all, I'll give a logical demarcation to my resources. I'll change the topic name. Click on the pencil sign and write any topic name. So like unit 1 is Java fundamentals. Press enter, the topic name will change. Topic 2. Unit 2.
Ma'am, just a minute, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I have downloaded this Java. I can directly install, or should I follow some route procedure kind of
Sir,
thing? Or-
we can visit installation queries after the session. You can use the cloud hosted URL which Uttam sir discussed in the morning
okay.
for practice right now. So all installation queries we can take up after the session.
Okay.
So like I have changed the topic name of two of my topics. Now, if I want to add an activity or a resource, it is available at all levels. It is available at the course level. It is available at your different individual, say topic level also. So click on this icon here, this link here, add an activity or resource. You see there are certain activities which open up, and beneath those activities, there is a listing of certain resources which open up. So this is what I was saying. Activities and resource are the heart and core of a Moodle course. These are the materials that you upload which aid in asynchronous learning. So if you see here in resources, there are different type of resources. The moment you click on every type, you will see a complete description of that kind of resource opens in the side panel. So even if you want to upload a kind of resource and you don't know about the rest of the 5 types that are available, you can always visit this description. And if you need more help, this will lead you to the FAQs and description page of the moodle.org. So this is the extensive documentation that Moodle provides. Say suppose I want to create a book. I will first click on a book. As you can see here, the book module enables a teacher to create a multi-page resource in a book-like format, which has chapters and sub-chapters. And the contents of a book can pertain from anything, starting from a text, media files, passages, images, URLs, anything. And what is the use case of this resource is also mentioned. What is it useful for? Where is it used? To display reading material as a departmental handbook. It can showcase the portfolio of a student work also. So Moodle is a very user-friendly software, which not only does helps the user intuitively to go about the Moodle site, but also suggests that in which way can the user be using the Moodle site. So if I say add a book, click on add button. This will lead you to this page where I'm adding a book to my unit 1, that is Java Fundamentals. Now you see here on this page, multiple options are available, but only those marked with a red exclamation sign are necessary, which means if I just provide the information which is important, I'll be able to complete the book. These are my required fields. Rest other are optional. So suppose I'm creating a book in Java and I want to call it Basic Java. Java 2 Standard Edition Fundamentals. This is relating to my course. You can title the book anything relating to your course. You can show you can add a description to this. This is optional. Now there are some formatting options available. You can bold, italics, you can have an ordered list in the description, you can number, you can even add images, you can add a audio recording or a video recording, anything that you wish to, you can add in the description. I say display the description on the course page. If you don't check this checkbox, description will not be displayed on the course page. It will only be displayed once you click on the resource. Expand the appearance section. This will decide how your book will look like to any student who will access it as a resource. Say the chapter formatting has to be in numbers. So you want the chapters to be number formatted, bullet formatted, or indented one beneath each other. Whatever type you choose, you can select here. What is the style of navigation between different pages of the book? Should the book appear as images? Should the student be able to flip through images? Should the student be getting text which he needs to scroll down? Or should you only display table of contents and not the internal content of any chapter? You can decide that here. So in some cases, we are creating an index or a table of content. In some cases, we are giving the actual contents. This is for the segregation of those two kind of resources here. I say display as images. every page should come as an image. Now, custom tiles, if ever you encounter an option which probably you don't understand, you can always click on this question mark, and this says custom tiles, what are it and what is its use case? It's generally the chapter title displayed in the table of contents and as a heading of the above content. So I don't want any custom tiles to separate the look and feel of a heading from that to a chapter content. I just want it to be a normal page. I'll select that. Then you can click on common module settings. Availability. Where does the resource need to be available? Should it be available on the course page, or should you hide it from the students? When will you need to hide a book from the students? Probably it can be a scenario where you have created your Moodle site, you have created your course, and there is a lot of material that you put into your course, but you don't want to confuse the student by showing him all resources at the same time. So I say, okay, as and when I'm moving ahead in my lectures, live lectures, so and so, my Moodle site should also build up for the student, so that the student is aware what is happening and what is the pace of the class. So you can pre-create information for a semester and hide it from the students the moment you click on this option. If you want to display everything to the student the moment the student opens up a course, and you are giving the student a facility that, okay, now you learn on your own pace. If you are acquainted with the basics, then you move ahead faster with the resource material, take the assessments and move on. And if you are a little slow in the basics, you are visiting the topic for the first time, you can revisit and see that content as many times as you want. So I say show this resource on the course page. Don't hide anything from the student. If there is any specific ID number that you want to give to that resource, you can, else you can leave this field blank. Restrict access. Now, if I want to impose certain restrictions on this resource to all enrolled users of this course, I can do that here. Add restriction, like you can have restriction in multiple format. You can impose restrictions in dates, as in prevent access until this date, or beyond a date you don't want the student to access a resource, you can impose such kind of date restrictions. Grade restrictions, only show this resource to students who have got a minimum grade of at a minimum level of say 50% in my course. This is for higher knowledge or a more extensive work around Java. So you can impose grade restrictions. User profile. Now, if you even want to select from within students, like if I'm uploading a book and that is only specific to a group case study, and I want 5 students to access it, not the rest of the 55 in my class, so I will impose user profile restrictions on that resource. So these are certain and restrictions set, nested restrictions, or a group of restrictions of these types, rather than just one, multiple restrictions. So you can impose these kinds of restrictions within a resource. If you want some material to be visible and other to be hidden from the student, ma'am, then in that case you can impose restriction either on user profile, else you can say here in availability, you can select show on course page and hide from students. So if there is certain material which you want the student to see the moment the student accesses your Moodle site, or the resource should be available to all students, you can say show on course page. But if you want to hold that resource from the student for some particular time, you can always select availability as hide from students. Later on in the due course of semester, if you want to make this resource visible, you can always change the settings, just like this. I hope that answers the question. Thank you. All right. Activity completion. So this tab will actually help you impose an ordering as to when the student completed the resource. Like if I want the students to read 5 chapters of my book till the end of August, 30th of August, I want students to read 5 chapters of my book. So I'm setting up an expected completion date. So the moment I set up this date here, the student, when they read the book and they mark it as completed, I will get a complete activity report. Okay, these students were able to complete this excess of activity or resource till this date, and these many lagged behind. Then there are certain tags. If you want to give custom tags, or you want to, specifically segregate resources within a group, you can do that kind of a thing. Like if I say, okay, these resources are for a Spring Hibernate course, these resources are for my structs framework. So if I want to distinguish such kind of resources internally within a book, I can do that here. Else, most probably we don't use this feature. Competencies. If I want to select course competencies, now you don't have any predefined competencies, but you can always map up to. Competencies are like, after reading this book, what all skills was the reader able to generate or inculcate. So the user can read the resource and select his competency. Okay, I was able to understand the basics. I'm a basic level beginner. I was able to do that. Then you can also review the competency. Okay, the user says, the student says, I was able to understand the basic, but his grade does not match the same. He's got a less than 50% in my first assignment relating to this resource. So I'll say, okay, go and take that assignment again. I can review his competency as well. So these are the different kind of features available when you create a book. Now, as I said, two options. One, it can save and display to you, else it will save and return to course. This will give you a preview if you say display, and if you say return to course, it will just take you back to the course and fix up all the changes you have done here. I say return to course. I've entered all the information that I wanted to, return to course. So now on the course page, on my Java programming page and any of your course page, you'll see this book coming up here. But I have created a book with only just one chapter, not even one chapter. I just created a framework, how to add chapters to this book. Click on the book. Once your book is created, when you will click on the book in editing settings, it will help you create chapters. Enter the chapter title. I say chapter 1. Content of the chapter. Now in the content section, you can either write plain text, you can copy text from a book, you can also have an image being inserted, you can have a pre-recorded audio file, and even a video link. All these kind of contents you can impose inside a book. Now if I say chapter 1, I want to discuss only the syllabus. So I want to add the syllabus as an image. Upload file. So this is the image which I have created, sir. Yeah, that will have copyright issues. So better is that if you have already a book which has an e-book version of it, let's provide the link and not create a custom chapter. We'll discuss that when we set up links. Yes, you can record your own material and save. So this is my chapter 1 that I wanted to create. It has to entail the syllabus and I've got it here. Now, if I want to create another chapter, on the right panel, there is this plus icon. The moment you click on this, it will say previous chapter is what? Chapter 1. This means this is the next chapter to chapter 1, that is chapter 2. Now there is this option here, either embed this chapter as a subchapter or altogether a new chapter. So if I click on this checkbox, I will be creating a subchapter within chapter 1. And if I just don't click on the checkbox, this will independently create a chapter 2 ahead of chapter 1. Now inside this chapter, if I want to embed a URL, a video link, say a YouTube video link, how do I do that? So you first of all copy the YouTube video link which you want to embed inside this chapter. Click on audio or video file icon and paste the YouTube link that I want to upload. Say insert media. Save changes. Now if you see, my chapter 1 has the syllabus, and if I click on chapter 2, the YouTube video link will be embedded within the chapter. So this is how you embed any external file or any media file within a chapter. These kind of files can also pertain to, live interactions of video recorded by the teacher, or any instruction from the student, or a student submitting, a student remarking that I need this kind of resource in the chapter. You can embed media in this format. Now, if I want to create a sub-chapter to chapter 2, again click on the plus icon and I will name this as sub-chapter 2. Now I want it to be a sub-chapter, so I will click on this checkbox here. This will embed my sub-chapter 2 beneath my previous chapter, that is chapter 2. You can add any content. Save changes. So if you see the hierarchy, if you see the table of contents of this book, there is chapter 1, that is syllabus, there is chapter 2, and there is a sub-chapter, chapter 2.1. If you want to see how this looks in your course, you can go back to your course. Site home, Java programming. See, I have this Java fundamental books here. And inside this book, chapter 1, chapter 2, and a sub-chapter. So this is how you embed either custom content or any specific media content also, if you want, in the form of a custom book that a user or a teacher wants to upload. Now, if I want to provide a link to an external resource, say an ebook or something of that sort, how do I do that here? Go back to the course, click on add activity or resource. You can have a file creation, you can have a page or a URL, 3 kind of creations pertaining to that. First, I will show you how to create a file. Add. See, the file that I want to create is a lab assignment on my topic. So now this section here, select files, this will help you to add any external file, a PDF file or a Word file or anything. So if you have a soft copy version, you can directly upload here. If you have a link, you can upload in the URL, which we'll be seeing next. So say upload a file. And I simply upload my file as a lab assignment PDF in this section. Some same options are available for a resource which we discussed in the while we were creating a book. Book was also a resource, file is also a resource. So same custom settings are available. You can, select the appearance, how the display should be. Either it should be automatic or embedded or in a pop-up. What kind of a display do you want? Then you can have availability. You want to show it on the course page. You want to hide it from students and open it later on. Access restrictions, if you want to impose restrictions dependent on activity completion, date, grade, user profile, all that can be done. After activity completion, the student should be able to mark the activity as completed or not. I have not enabled this feature here. So if I click on enable and if I set a date, it will give me, let's try and see that how that happens. Tags, any custom tags that you want to embed in this resource. And competencies, what kind of competencies a learner is supposed to develop in an outcome-based scenario, an outcome-based education format, and what to do on completion or marking of those competencies by the learner. Should it be assessed by the evaluator or should it be accepted? Just say save and return to course. So now you see here, under my unit 2, I was able to create a lab assignment file. So this is how you embed files. In different formats, you can embed files. Now, if I want to embed an external URL, like I included a YouTube URL, a YouTube link within a book, I want to do it independently. So how do I do that here? Add an activity or a resource. Click on URL, add. So this URL can be of anything. It can be an independent course which you want the student to take as a prerequisite. It can be of an extended course which you want the student to visit after you complete your program, or any external resource URL which you want to share on your course forum. Say I want to say extended study. Have your URL link copied. Click on choose a link. URL downloader. Download. Could not access the wiki page. Just give me. So this is because in my Moodle account, in my custom site, I have not embedded the file. It is there on the cloud host. In that kind of a scenario, you can also embed this. Okay, so I'll take this up towards the end. I'll first add a resource in my personal account, in this standalone on-premise implementation that I have, and then I will do the video embed. For now, I will cancel this. Towards the end of the session, I'll walk you through this. Meanwhile, adding an activity or resource. If you want to add a page, so how does a page differ from a file? The page generally has certain custom description or a custom user content that is to be displayed as a web page within Moodle, where you share certain files or formats externally. So you can simply share a file. The file will be uploaded in itself. You can share an external URL, which I will be visiting towards the end of the session. And you can also be inserting a page. Page only helps you have the additional privilege of giving in your description or your version of that resource along with the resource. So add a page. This is a page that I'm creating. And any custom description that you want to provide. Otherwise, what we used to do when we used to embed any external video or a link, we used to embed that in the page content. But here, apart from the content, we have a description format also. This description will help you add your input to the resource. What you think of it, what should the student be inferring from the resource, and how he or she can use it. So these are my custom remarks as a evaluator, and I can add any type of a resource here, any type of a page I can create. So I want to suppose add a Word file. Copy the URL. So this is how I created a web page wherein I uploaded a video from my system and not an external link. And I added my custom comments to the video. I can do that, but I chose not to here in this demonstration. You can. Moving back to your course, let's see what kind of resources have we added. Site home. So we've created a book, we've added a file, we've created a page. Next, you can create a label. A label is a simple text heading that is used to demarcate resources within a course. So I say a simple label comes in towards the end of my unit 1 where I'm telling the student, okay, end of unit 1. So you can also post certain labels as announcements, or labels I use mainly in the purpose of announcements. Okay, if I want to say, now you've completed the basic resources required for unit 1, now go and take up the quiz which is relating to unit 1 and then come back to the further section. Or probably within a resource section, I want to inculcate 2 or 3 quizzes or surveys or a case study which I want to give to the student, and complete that before you move to the next section, so that I am also aware as an instructor that where is my learner standing. I can do that kind of a thing by posting announcements or creating labels as resources. Then another important type of a resource is a folder. So apart from your topics, if within a topic you want to create folders or you want to separate internally resources within a topic, you can do that by creating folders. This is just for demarcation purpose. If at the time of creation of a folder, you have certain content that you want to put in a folder, you can add here. Else you can simply create a folder, and when you add a resource, you can place it under the folder. I say save and return to the course. So you see here a folder is created. Now these were the main type of resources which you can create in your Moodle website, Moodle site. Till now, if you are facing problem in any of the resources, please write in the chat window. I will clear the doubts and then we'll proceed further. Okay. Folder is a resource, or it's a basically group of resources which is giving you the privilege to separate out the contents in a topic. So a course has many topics, many units to itself, but the units can also have certain subtopics. Like in my unit 2, I have 2 topics, multi-threading and sockets. So rather than posting entire material together, I can separate out multi-threading material and paste it in the multi-threading folder, and I can separate out socket material and paste it under the socket folder. So it's further used to demarcate resources within a topic. Creating folders, click on add activity or resource. Any type of resource that you want to add, you will be able to add only through this section. From here, you can click on folder and add. Give a name to the folder. This is a mandatory field. Apart from the name, nothing is mandatory, which means either you can create the folder and add content later, place content later beneath the folder, or while creating the folder, you can add files. Like we do certain lab demonstrations in our program. So if at the end of a unit, I want to share certain lab demonstrations with a student. Now, I don't want all program files to be uploaded simultaneously. I want program files related to one topic being uploaded separately. So you can do that using folder option. Admin, sir, I am not able to understand which option under admin.
Madam, actually, you have started from admin to choose edit. So actually, in my dashboard, I am not finding any admin and also the edit option. So that is the reason why I asked you.
Okay.
You have when you are
So-
starting for the starting step to add the resources.
All right, sir. So were your user account credentials that of a manager or a course creator? Even teachers can add resources. So even that role will work. What is the role that you are logging in from?
Actually, I'm logging in cloud. Actually, sir given us the user ID password. Here there is no such visibility that in which role it is logged in.
All right, sir. I will just check. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Meanwhile, while I clarify this and a little more cloud access doubts, I would share one hands-on assignment with you. Just give me a minute. Assignment means I share a file here. So all of you have my PowerPoint presentation, hopefully. If not, I am opening up on the screen here. There is this hands-on which are mentioned in my PPT. Either you can access this from the PPTs that are shared with you, it's the same, or probably, I can share
There
the
is
file.
only few pages in PPT.
Sorry, sir?
Resource planning.
Yeah.
In PPT, only few pages is available.
Yeah, sir. It is the 5th page of the PowerPoint presentation.
I can't understand how it will work.
Okay, wait. I will just share the file on your groups. Just give me a minute. All those who have access to this presentation can probably start hands-on. If you face problems, we'll solve. but just give me a moment.
I am also logged in cloud, but whatever you are explaining, nothing we are able to see.
Okay, I'll just check that. These assignments are, this is
Just
actually,
it is going on. Just we are just listening. How much it will? You can.
okay, I will just check that with my team. And these are not actually
Totally
assignments.
missed out. Huh?
Yeah,
Java,
sure.
where to be Java collecting.
Never mind, sir. I'll just look up on that. And these are not assignments for submission. These are assignments for practice during the sessions. Not even an assignment. There are just few points which I mentioned. Probably I want
But
you to
practice is
perform the
important
same.
at this level.
Yes, definitely. So that is what
This
I'm answering
practice
on
is
the
also
chat
important at
box.
this level, because
Yeah,
if foundation is weak, then we will never go by it.
I will just check your cloud account. Just give me a minute.
We are totally blind.
Yeah,
Because
I understand.
we are unable to see anything in cloud.
Right.
Just wasting searching here and there. In the meantime, your information also slipped.
Yeah, sir, I'm just fixing it. Give me a minute.
So ma'am, we'll have to start from course creation, right? And then going ahead with whatever you have told, addition of resources.
Course creation, sir, you would have completed in the morning. So I expect that
Tell you
once you
what
created
requirement is there to create resource.
a course should be created.
Will you post this recording later on, so we can go
Yes.
through again and again, because
Definitely, sir.
of
At the end of the day, all recordings will be shared.
software is nothing. Cloud is nothing.
So all those who are having in accessing the cloud account, please post on your FTP group.
People, because several are success to install that program, but still problem. I am in cloud account only.
I will also get this PPT shared on your WhatsApp group again.
Tempo of your information is fast, but we are just searching.
I got it, sir.
Where is that? Where is that? Where is this?
I will get this PPT also shared on your WhatsApp group. Vishal sir, if you are there.
And PPT does not have much of the things. We require this video so that we can go through it and we can create it again.
I got it, sir. The video will be
Just a
uploaded
simple
at the end
sentence
of
is
the
there.
day. But this PPT is important for those people who want to do a hands-on right now. For you, the video will also be uploaded. Vishal sir, I request you please share the PPT on the.
Ma'am, we have this PPT, ma'am. It's been shared, ma'am. So we are doing it.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Label page URL group file folder IMS content package, and thank you.
Yeah, so what am I seeing in the cloud version is that many of us have created categories, but we have not created courses within that category. So you have to be sure that you have a course within the category. right? I will just show it to you how it looks like on my screen. You can verify on your screen. If you are not getting the same content, then first you have to create a course. Just wait, I'll share.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
ma'am, actually, I'm working on this on-premise installation. I
Okay, sir.
am not able to see that, like what you have shown, that addition of chapters and sub-chapters option, where I can
Yeah,
find it.
that is what I'm resolving because I've got an input. Just give me a
No,
minute, sir.
no, ma'am, it's not on cloud. I'm not. I'm just working on the.
Right. So you can also verify your structure with me. The structure should be the same. So
Yes, ma'am. Like
if you go
morning.
into site administration, click on site administration, whether cloud or on premise. Just click on site administration.
Okay, ma'am.
Inside site administration, click on courses.
Okay.
I'll wait for everybody who is checking. You can confirm in the chat box. I will wait. I'd like you to verify your course hierarchy
Example of
first.
BTech Bank, I have.
Right, ma'am. Right, sir. Were you able to move to this page, site administration
Please
and
check
courses?
BTech Bank. There is a 2 courses here.
Sir, you can check on your end because I don't have the same credentials as yours.
No.
The structure will be the same. Just follow my directions. Click on site administration and move to courses on your account, whichever installation, on-premise or.
Here I am sharing screen. No?
Sir, you will need to be made a presenter. If you can just hold on for 5 minutes and go with me so that.
Are you able to see this screen?
No, sir, you can't do that because I'm the presenter and I'm sharing. So I'll request you just give me patience for 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Let me go on with this structure. And then if we are not able to see, then I'll pass the privilege to you for sharing screen. So in the best interest of everybody, just give me patience for 5 minutes.
Ma'am, this we cannot see. What?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
I cannot get you. You can write in the chat box. I cannot hear. There is a lot of disturbance. I request all participants to please bear with me for the next 5 minutes and verify the course structure. If the course structure is not same, your problem will be identified. There is one common problem that I am witnessing, right? Please click on site administration, click on courses, and in courses, click on manage categories and courses. So this is my course and category structure. You see here, your BTech program, when you expand this, you will be getting CSE and miscellaneous category will also have some further categories. These are subcategories. These are not courses. How do you identify? See here, BTech program, if you see on the right panel, BTech programs courses are mentioned. So there are these 2 courses. Under the scholar hat, I see a number 2. You should be seeing at least one course. If you don't have a course in this category, you will not be able to add resources. This section was covered earlier in the morning. And if you have missed out, no worries, we'll be sharing videos. I request participants to please mute yourselves for 5 minutes. Please mute yourself so that I can demonstrate this common problem. Thank you. See, this is the course and category hierarchy which Uttam sir discussed in the afternoon session 1:30 to 3:30, right? So here under BTech program, when you click on plus, it will expand, but this CSC is not a course, it is a subcategory, right? A course is detailed in this section. So when you click on BTech, there are 2 courses I see here. Sockets programming and Spring framework. If you don't have a count here, if the scholarly hat, when you hover over it, it should show you courses as some number. It should not show 0. So if you are in a CSE course and it does not have any further courses, then you create courses from this side panel. Until and unless you don't create a course, a category is just like an empty folder.
I have created.
Right, sir. Could you get us a number in this hat?
Here.
Yeah.
Yes, I have put it
I can check
4
it,
courses
madam.
in this category, semester 1.
Right. You have a course here. All of us have a
Like
course.
Yes,
engineering,
ma'am.
drawing,
Yes, ma'am.
I have also designed
applied
the course
chemistry, communication skill, and applied
in
mathematics.
BTech second year.
Ma'am, I just shared a screenshot in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
I mean, that is what I can see and access. I don't see all this that you're showing in your screen.
I am not a part of the WhatsApp group, ma'am. I'll still collaborate on that. Don't worry. I'll do that. But meanwhile, I take care of your problem personally. Anyone who's not able to see a course here, please write in the chat box. If you're not able to see a course here, you should be seeing at least
I am
one
able to
course.
see here. I am
Right?
able to see here.
Great. If you're able to see these courses, then it's well and good. If you're not, then create a course. If you don't have a course, you cannot add a resource. So that is why, the sequencing of the sessions is such. The first session is installation, then you create categories and courses, and within courses, you add further things. Right? So if you don't see a course, add a course. And if you see a course, then click on Site Home, this option here in the left panel where my mouse is. Click on Site Home. Right? Site Home will see, it is Site Home. It will come either in the lower options also. You can scroll in the left panel. There is this option of Site Home.
Site home is I am able to see left side top.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Click on it. You see a listing of available courses.
So, ma'am, for the category, it will be management.
Ma'am,
And under management, it will be marketing and
Yes. Yes.
that is how we have.
Yes.
Semester 1.
That will be seen as 1 or 2 or
Semester
3,
1
whatever will be
and
there, right?
4 courses I am able
Only
to see.
if your management is a course, it will be seen under this option. You see the title of this page. It shows you available courses. So that is why from this part, many of the participants were not able to follow with me. Because you didn't have courses. You can have categories having subcategories, but those subcategories essentially need to have a course. So if you see in a tree-like structure, a course is a leaf node. It has to be present for you to add any resource or assignment or activity. So you have to have courses. If you don't have courses, earlier I demonstrated, how can you create courses? Right? Any problem now? Anybody?
No,
So,
I am
ma'am,
able to see that course.
Is good as far as now.
Okay. And once you see a course here, click on the course. All of you have manager privileges. I have verified with my team. You will be able to add resources, right?
Anyone?
Once, yes, everybody should have the privilege. Even a teacher can add resources to a course. So you have the valid amount of roles given to you.
Madam, can you repeat again that admin user for editing?
Okay, we'll do that. Right.
Ma'am, course is
Which option?
different and subject will be different, is it?
Subject is a course now.
Okay, subject is a course.
Program is a category. I'll give you the
Okay.
normally. Program is a category. Subject
Fine.
is a course.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah,
A
thank you, ma'am.
program can have multiple departments as subcategories. Those
Okay.
departments will have subjects and semesters as further courses. Semester will also be a subcategory. And that
Right, ma'am.
semester will have courses.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Site Home, click on Site Home. This is the thing that all of you should be seeing.
Ma'am,
Okay,
when I am clicking on Site Home, this is what I am getting: course categories, miscellaneous, MBA law, BTech. I mean, it is not put in the structure that you are showing us on screen.
Ma'am, did you verify? Do you have a course created? Because this is the input I got from Uttam sir also, that many of us don't have courses created. We have only categories created. So probably in the afternoon session, you have missed out on course creation. That is what I'm trying to put across, that you need to have a
So, ma'am,
category. Yeah.
how do I go about? If you can just repeat the stage, I mean, that would help us.
Okay, we'll do that. But if you have missed out in detail, I'll give you a briefing here. But if you have missed out the afternoon
So,
session, then we'll also be uploading videos. You can see that also, but I'll still go about
okay.
it. Site administration, click on site administration, courses,
Madam,
manage
site
categories
administration.
and courses,
Madam,
create a
madam,
new course. Yes, sir.
site administration, madam. For the adding resources or course, sir?
Courses.
Courses.
So, sir,
Okay.
I'll give you the hierarchy. You add only categories and courses in site administration. It's an option here, manage categories and courses. You don't add resources in site administration, you add resources
Yes,
in
yes,
courses.
yes, yes, madam. We have completed this one. Only
Yeah.
I have problem in the administration resource,
Yeah.
adding resources.
Yes, sir. I will visit that also. That is what I've been taking up since 4 this afternoon. Never mind, I'll visit it again. But I'm just repeating this because few participants have missed course creation. So they are not able to see a course only. So how will they add resources?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have created courses,
Yeah.
but when I go to site home, I cannot see my courses.
You are working on an on-premise implementation now?
On premise, yeah.
You don't see any course in site home?
No, when I go,
Yeah.
just shows me my Moodle FIP, that folder. I am not able to see the courses which I have created. I have already created.
Right. And you see the course on the site management, site administration page?
Yes. But I cannot see it in site home.
Same with me also, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sorry, there is a power failure at my end, and my system will not be, I'll not be able to share the screen. So yes, I can verbally resolve queries. Let me know. So this is what I was discussing, is that you need to have courses created, and if you have created a course and that is not visible in site home, are you able to see that course under site administration now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and when you click on that course, what happens?
See, I have a course in created in computer science. Category is computer science,
Right.
and course which is created is database management system.
Okay.
That I can see in course and category management when I
Right.
go to site admin. But when I go to site home, I cannot see these courses which are created.
So, ma'am, when you are in site administration, is that course visible? There is an I symbol there, you know, symbol of an I. That should not be crossed. Is your course hidden or is it visible?
Okay, I'll just check that.
मैम कोर्स क्रिएटेड कॉलम में राइट साइड में
Course created column में sir?
there some copy course, delete I symbol and download.
My courses में कहाँ बता रहे हैं आप?
हेलो
हाँ जी.
उसमें
Ma'am,
मेरे
that
4 कोर्स आ रहे हैं उसमें क्या करना है आगे इसको
उस कोर्स पे क्लिक करना है सर और साइड में gear का icon होगा ना आपके पास, you'll have a gear icon. Click on that and click on turn editing on.
हाँ
किया ना सर? तो उसके बाद नीचे वो आपको सारा दिखा रहा होगा, add activity or a resource करके. Click on that and then you can select a resource to add. So ideally what we do, a course is displayed to you as a display page. The moment you turn editing and try and edit content inside the course, that is when you are able to add resources and activities. So you would be seeing you add resources and activities to a course. That is why course is very mandatory. It cannot be done through site administration. Anybody else is facing a problem in the hands-on exercise?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I'm having the issue that while uploading the content on the unit 1,
Yes, sir.
the toolbar on description is missing.
Toolbar, you mean to say what? Checkbox?
No. While adding the contents, you have uploaded the PDF file for topic 1, right?
Yeah.
So for uploading that, the toolbar on description bar, in front of description, there is a
So
toolbar,
you
right?
are,
Tools.
on the contents, you're talking of the various buttons which help you add a PDF file or,
Yes. For topic 1, you have uploaded the PDF file, but for that,
Right.
on the above the description, there is a toolbar.
Okay, I'll just check, sir.
That toolbar is missing here.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, as earlier said, at site administration, I have created 2 categories. And
Okay.
under one category, I have created a course.
Mm-hmm.
But at the site home, I'm only able to see course, not the categories.
Yes, you will see only course on site home.
Okay, not the categories, right?
No, click on any one course and then
Okay.
towards the right hand side, you'll get a gear symbol of settings.
Right, ma'am.
Click on that and say turn editing on. I'm just checking for your PDF doubt, sir.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have created a course and I have started editing also.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, then I keep on adding the assignments, right? Like the
Yes, ma'am.
resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very convenient. If you are at turn editing on and if you are in a course, all type of resources are available in front of you. So it's absolutely child's play after that. You just have to reach to that point where you get that resource button. If you still face problems, I'm still here. Sir, for the PDF upload, just a minute, sir.
editing.
Just a minute, sir. I'll complete one doubt. Sir, those who asked me for the PDF upload, like you specify the name, that is mandatory. Then description, beneath description, there is a select file option. Are you getting that, sir?
No, madam, no.
You're not getting a select file. Are you sure you have selected a file resource?
What? Sorry.
What type of resource have you selected? Have you selected a file?
Actually, madam, for the topic, you are while uploading the PDF, that there is a toolbar uploading option is there, right?
Yeah.
That options I am not getting.
Sir, let's take you from the beginning. Cancel whichever resource you are trying to create, right? Go back
Yes.
to the course page. Fine.
Yes.
You see add activity or resource, click on that.
Okay.
Then
Actually,
click on a file.
actually, what I did,
Yeah.
again, I am created a new book in unit 2.
No, sir. We'll create a file. No, we don't need to create a book for a PDF. We'll create a file.
No, inside a book we are creating chapters, right?
Yeah.
For chapter 1, we are adding some content.
Okay.
While adding the content for chapter 1, you have selected the PDF file as a content.
No, sir, I've added PDF file as a file. I have not added PDF file as a content.
So for chapter 1, what you have done?
Image. That was a syllabus image. Like if you see options in description or content, there will be image, there will be audio recording, there will be video link.
There are
Right?
no options. There are no options here in my installation.
Assignments, book,
Below the
chat,
name, there are
choice,
description tab, right?
database,
And description, you have the options.
file.
I can see that you have the options in descriptions.
Sir,
Like
what is the purpose? You want to upload a PDF file? Is
yes,
that it? Right?
yes,
So
in
you don't
chapter.
have to do in a book. If you want to do it in a book, you have to paste content. If you want to upload a PDF file, you can do that separately.
No. For chapter 1 content, what is the content of your chapter 1, madam?
Yes. Under
Chapter
resource,
1 is
there is
an
a file
image.
available.
Image. That's an image, sir. Image of my syllabus.
Okay. So how you have uploaded that?
So in the content, you'll see there is an insert or edit image button. I'm sorry I can't share my screen with you because my Wi-Fi is not working. I have a power failure. I'm joining through
There
phone.
is no buttons appearing here, madam. That's what I am saying.
Sir, you can post your doubt on the group. I'll see there.
Okay.
Ma'am, under resource, book, file, folder, IMS content, label, page, and URL is available.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And
you have to pick up any one type of resource.
And activities में assignment, chat, choice, data, external tool, forum,
Yes.
glossary,
Yes.
HSP, lessons, quiz,
Yes.
survey, wiki, and workshop is available. So first
Yes,
of
sir.
all, if suppose I want to upload a book, then
you select book under resources.
select a book from resource, okay, and enter
Yes.
name.
Then it will lead you
Right.
to another
Suppose
window
I want to
where
your PPT is as a book here.
you want to upload my PPT as a book. So, sir, what is I
have in my separate folder.
Okay. So the thing is that for different kind of resources, there are different types. You have to see what type of resource you will be able to upload under this. The type is important.
Suppose that PPT is in the form of the PDF.
PDF. So you directly
PDF
upload PDF. Why do you want to create a book for that? We can upload a PDF as a file. We can
Under
upload
which,
PPT also as a file.
Okay, as a file. Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have created the chapters as directed. Now I have to add 2 images in the book chapter.
Yes, sir.
What should I do right now?
Sir, when you will be at the book chapter, like we'll be
Okay.
content. Right above it, there are certain options available for formatting and different type of contents that you can upload. So you hover and see an insert or edit image?
Yes.
Yes. So that is how you'll upload images.
Fine. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have completed that assignment, ma'am, whatever you have said.
Okay, sir. No problem in
So,
there.
everything in that subchapter also it has appeared when I just restarted that one and it came back, ma'am.
Okay. Good, sir.
So, is it,
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's also working for me. I just checked. I can get those options now.
Right.
Thank you so much.
If you have anywhere faced an issue or probably you're not able to run with the pace of our sessions, then videos will be uploaded towards the end of the day and you can revisit any session where you have lost touch and then you can continue from that point onwards. So for installation session, Uttam sir's morning session as well as my session, there will be a video that will be uploaded.
How it will be upload, madam? File?
On you on the file you're asking, sir?
I put a name, description.
Right. Name, description. Then it will ask you for content.
I put a name. Description
Right.
also I have mentioned.
Then content.
Yes.
Select files. Basically, it shows you na that you are you able to see select files beneath description.
Display description on course page is being, but select file, yes.
Yes.
Select file maximum size is mentioning.
You
nothing
click
is-
on select file, like you click on that option which says drag or drop the
below
file
that
here.
some activity is going on. Just circular. Okay. circular I
It's
think progress
loading
is going on, but
probably,
nothing
sir.
is showing.
It's
maybe यहाँ पे
loading
browse करने के लिए
probably.
होगा.
So, ma'am, for select the file, then you get file picker, right?
Sorry, sir.
After you select for uploading file, you get a file picker.
Yes.
And from there, you have to upload a file, right?
Yes. Upload a file, choose file.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
And here is power cut also. My laptop is exhausted. And mobile also running on 22% only.
Never mind, sir. If you get the base concept, hang of the base concept, we can always extend it, going further.
Because of here is a problem. Power problem.
Yeah, even we are facing a power failure here in Delhi, so at least at my
All
location.
things are very good for the noodles and everything, but the resources is not sufficient in India. We are still in 2G. लॉकडाउन खुलने के बाद में 2-2 दिन के लिए आप बुलाइए, ये चीजें इतनी कठिन नहीं है जितना हमको लग रहा है.
जी सर.
तो इस चीज को रास्ते में फ्लो करने में थोड़ा सा पकड़ने में प्रॉब्लम.
जी जी. तो एक बार की प्रॉब्लम है सर. You just need to.
दिल्ली आना जाना रहता है.
जी सर.
अभी मौका लगेगा. केवल अगर फिजिकली 1-2 बार अगर किसी के साथ में रह के कर लिया ना, तो ये इतना ज्यादा प्रॉब्लमेटिक नहीं.
राइट सर, राइट.
Hello.
Yes.
How to manage the resources in a book?
Manage as in, sir, after creation?
Yeah.
Then turn editing on. Under editing
Yeah.
settings, open the book. You will be able to edit the contents.
So, ma'am, here we can put everything, whatever
Yes,
structure
sir.
we prepared for the course, right?
Right.
And how we can check the final result as
When you
appeared in
see the
front of
course on
the
site
learner,
home, turn editing off and
whatever. Yes.
you'll see what is the structure. Turn editing off. Okay, so I've got my power back. I just wanted to, I have left for the end, that is adding a URL. Create activity or a resource under any topic. If you have to add a URL to an external page or a link to an ebook, anything, click on URL, add, give a name of the URL, and paste the URL simply. If you click on choose a link, then your URL should be added as a resource
Hello.
in your Moodle.
Hello.
Right?
Excuse me, madam.
Just a minute, sir. I'm covering one last concept. Just give me a minute. So when you paste the URL simply, you will be able to add the URL as an external link in your save and return. You see, this is the external URL that we created. If I URL, this will redirect to the YouTube video that I have embedded, right? So this is for the URL creation. Just simply paste the URL. Don't click on choose URL link from. Right. So this covers all type of resources that you can create in Moodle. Yes, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You can please continue. You can download any version, ma'am. You can download latest version 1.14. You can download 1.8. That's okay. Any version of Java would do. Sub label would not be possible. Labels are added separately. They can be indexed under different topics. You can have multiple labels under different topics, like depending on where you are creating a label. But sub labeling, like label within a label, will probably not be possible. All right, that will be all from my end. If you have any doubts, you can ask.
Space is allowed under name
Where username, sir?
or course.
Course name. Yes.
Yes.
Only in user creation it is not allowed. Usernames can't have caps and spaces. Course name it is allowed.
Ma'am, I have to put a book, ebook. Hello.
Yes, sir.
As a PDF in the.
Then upload it as a file, sir. You upload it as a file.
Oh.
Ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this was which I have asked you earlier because I have installed on premise, and how can I identify that what is the URL which I can share it so that others can access the site which has been created, ma'am?
Okay, sir. So if you have installed on premise, then you will need to first host your Moodle website on a cloud account. You are using from our Moodle cloud is hosted on Amazon AWS server account of the college. So you need to basically attach a public IP for others to visit. That will not be possible directly from your system. You need to get it over the larger network.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Tanya ma'am, one question, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it necessary for us to download the Oracle thing, Java?
For Tomcat service to be
About-
running, otherwise Tomcat will give you an error. It requires
For
an
any type
underlying
of
JD.
file. That means if we are going to work on it in the future, so for any type of file that we are trying to upload, if the Tomcat thing does not work, then we will have a problem. Is it?
Yeah, your Moodle site
Okay.
will not open up till your Tomcat is not working on premise.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. But no, I was just following you through my own site only.
Okay.
But I did not make save changes and all, and I just deleted it, and then I'm just going back and trying to see how I'm able to follow. So I'm following a little bit.
Okay, sir.
I'll look at your videos and then maybe then because I think it needs like you gave us the hands-on. It needs so much of a practical thing because
Yeah.
we have never worked on it. So
Right.
thank you. I have learned something.
Thank you.
Downloading the Java. I'll just do that. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Madam, URL we can't write here.
Which
or,
URL, sir?
choose somewhere. Whatever we want to link here or resource. Adding a
URL?
new URL or course.
Yeah. You want to add a URL to a course, so first copy the URL and add a resource type URL. Click on URL as a resource. There you just specify the
I
name.
have selected.
Yeah. Specify the name of the URL.
I have specified
and
that name,
paste
but
the link.
I just typed on here complete URL.
Okay. Then you have to be sure, sir, that you know.
Copy paste only. Huh?
Yeah. Copy paste makes it sure with the URL. Otherwise, if even one
I just
character is
tried
missing.
complete URL, but it is not taking.
Yeah.
Okay. I am just taking as a reference Wikipedia, right?
Right.
If any participant have any query, they can unmute themselves and ask. Otherwise, please confirm in the chat window.
Yes. Okay, sir.
So tomorrow we'll be having a doubt clear session, right? We start so that we can practice today and we can ask.
You can do practice. You can do the practice, and we can start the session at 1:30. If there are any other query, then we can put up any other session on other day.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Session will be started at 1:30.
Just want to.
Yes, ma'am, sir. Yes, we will upload the videos by today
इंस्टॉलेशन
evening
पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू
only.
से उत्तम सर कुछ अटेंड करने वाले थे सर.
क्या चीज?
इंस्टॉलेशन के लिए.
हेलो विशाल सर.
हाँ जी सर.
कुछ उत्तम सर दोबारा बताने वाले थे क्योंकि हमारा हुआ नहीं है सर.
Sir, I will discuss with Uttam sir and will inform you in the WhatsApp group, sir.
सर टॉमकैट के लिए कौन सा जावा का डाउनलोड करना ये क्लियर नहीं हो पा रहा है.
सर आप ग्रुप पे पोस्ट कर दीजिए, उत्तम सर रिप्लाई कर देंगे आपको.
सर ये ताने मैडम ने कहा था.
हमारा जो प्रोजेक्ट ग्रुप है वो LMS को लेकर के है.
हाँ जी.
हम लोगों को एक कोई साइट दे देते तो जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट हमारे हैं सब लोग उसी पर एडिट करते. तो मतलब rather than practicing on the hypothetical we can work on a constructive way.
In the case means you need a PPT in place of a PDF.
Okay.
विशाल सर, तान्या मैडम ने कहा था वो टॉम कैट के लिए फाइल डाउनलोड करने के लिए वो क्लियर नहीं हो पा रहा है, कौन सी करनी है?
Are you there?
Yeah, sir. Uttam
Ma'am,
sir
we-
will clarify this doubt. I'll see if whatever he says.
When?
अमित सर, उत्तम
work
सर
in collaboration.
इंस्टॉलेशन में ये क्लियर कर देंगे सर। ये
कब-
जावा की
कब-
कौन सी फाइल
Check with
डाउनलोड करनी
him.
है अपने को?
Yeah, I need to check with him what type of installation
Tomorrow,
he's gone
ma'am.
about. Yeah, so I'll clarify.
Fine. Thank you.
She is also with us. I'm just checking the availability of sir. There is login.
Yeah, Dr. Vishal.
Yes, sir. So we have completed 2 days on the Moodle.
Yes.
On yesterday we did the installation part.
Participants need to do huge practice.
Yes, sir.
I think the team, Uttam and Tanya, have to work very hard with the participants to facilitate them to undertake successful practice sessions. Because those participants who do not have any background are finding it difficult. So
Yes,
for
sir.
them, the practice session is important. So both the teachers, Tanya and Uttam, is requested to facilitate the entire process so that the participants should develop user-friendly approach with the LMS, and then they love using the LMS. That's what is my suggestion. And thank you so much. We'll meet tomorrow. If there is any input, participants can write in the WhatsApp group. All the best to all.
Thank you, sir.
Those who are logging with mobile, to them my suggestion is please log in with your desktop or laptop so that you can do practice in effective manner. Okay, all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We are just on mobile for understanding and practice.
Thank you very much to all the participants.
Doing practice over laptop.
I will
Because
discuss
there
with the
were
Uttam
several
sir.
Windows and pages will.
Yeah, if there are any sessions required, then we can kept another session for the practice purpose. And if you have any query remaining in the installation process, then we can also schedule a one session on the installation of Moodle. You can please write in the WhatsApp group. After that, we can discuss with the Uttam sir and put up one session on this. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Manish sir, can you please close the meeting and upload the today's session's video at the YouTube?